Get ready for a whirlwind of sports news. Manchester City's Champions League dreams are shattered, Pep Guardiola is firing back, and we've got the full breakdown. We're diving deep into Manchester City's analysis after their Champions League exit, exploring the pivotal run of games that could define their season. Could this be the end of their trophy hopes? Pep Guardiola and Jeremy Doku break their silence after the dramatic Real Madrid clash. What did they say about Bernardo Silva's red card and the team's performance? And in our final update, we dissect the full match report of Manchester City's 1-2 defeat to Real Madrid, the key moments and player ratings. Don't miss a second. Subscribe and hit that bell.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Pep Guardiola fires back. Everybody wants to fire me. After Manchester City's Champions League exit. The pressure is mounting on Pep Guardiola and Manchester City following their dramatic Champions League elimination by Real Madrid. After a hard-fought second leg at the Etihad, where City battled valiantly despite going down to 10 men, the dream of European glory has once again been dashed. Guardiola, facing intense scrutiny, hit back at journalists, stating, "Everybody wants to fire me." This defiant stance comes as the club faces a challenging period, with their season hanging in the balance. The match itself saw Manchester City exit the UEFA Champions League at the round of 16 stage for the second consecutive season. Despite a spirited performance, a controversial red card for Bernardo Silva for a handball on the goal line, followed by a converted penalty by Vinicius Jr., proved to be the turning point. Erling Haaland did manage to equalize, marking his first goal since early February, but it wasn't enough to overcome the deficit from the first leg and the disadvantage of playing with 10 men for a significant portion of the game. The implications of this exit are significant, not just for the Champions League, but for City's entire season. With hopes of a quadruple extinguished, attention now turns to reclaiming the Premier League title, a task made more difficult by trailing Arsenal and potential cup runs. The club's supporters are left to ponder what might have been, while analysts and fans alike are dissecting the performance and its impact on the team's morale and future prospects. The manager's strong words signal his determination to weather this storm. But what exactly went wrong on the pitch, and how did City's pivotal run of games lead to this moment? We've got the full analysis next. Manchester City's pivotal run of games is not going well, raising questions about their season's trajectory. Manchester City and Real Madrid have become familiar adversaries in the Champions League, and once again, the Spanish giants have emerged victorious. This latest encounter marks the 11th meeting between the two clubs in the past 5 seasons, with Real Madrid prevailing yet again. The atmosphere was electric, but City fans are growing weary of seeing their team eliminated by Real Madrid, having now suffered this fate 5 times. The aggregate scoreline doesn't tell the whole story, as the damage was significantly amplified by a heavy defeat in Spain during the first leg. This Champions League exit has officially extinguished any lingering hope City had of claiming 4 trophies this season. Compounding their woes, a recent draw against West Ham has made the task of reclaiming the Premier League title a monumental challenge, with City now trailing leaders Arsenal by 9 points with only 8 games remaining. The upcoming Carabao Cup final against Arsenal and a crucial FA Cup quarter-final against Liverpool add further pressure to an already demanding schedule. Adding to the concerns, question marks linger over Pep Guardiola's future at the club beyond this summer. This Champions League campaign marks the second successive season without reaching the quarterfinals, a rarity in Guardiola's illustrious managerial career. The match itself was marred by a controversial red card for Bernardo Silva in the first half, reducing City to 10 men for nearly 70 minutes. Despite having 21 shots and seeing goals disallowed for offside, including efforts from Jeremy Doku and Rayan Aït-Nouri, City couldn't overcome the deficit. Erling Haaland's late goal offered a glimmer of hope, but was ultimately a consolation, as he continues to search for consistent form, having scored only 5 goals in his last 19 appearances across all competitions. After the match, Pep Guardiola and Jeremy Doku shared their thoughts on the dramatic events, What did they reveal about the red card and the team's performance? Stay tuned. Pep Guardiola and Jeremy Doku speak out after Manchester City's Champions League heartbreak against Real Madrid. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola expressed his frustration following the team's elimination, stating, "It's difficult once you are 4-0 down and playing 10 men against 11, but we did everything." He emphasized the extraordinary quality of his team and players, looking towards a bright future, but acknowledged the learning experience, particularly highlighting the impact of playing with 10 men. Guardiola praised Thibaut Courtois, Real Madrid's goalkeeper, as the best player on the pitch, which he felt underscored City's strong performance despite the numerical disadvantage. He described Bernardo Silva's red card as a big punishment resulting from reaction and instinct. City winger Jeremy Doku shared a similar sentiment, feeling the team had numerous chances and played well, even with 10 men against a formidable Real Madrid side. He admitted disappointment with the loss, but acknowledged the harsh reality, believing that on the field, the game didn't feel as one-sided as the scoreline suggested. Doku noted that while this Real Madrid team is different from the one they faced in the league, their quality is undeniable. He believes the campaign will provide valuable lessons for future tournaments. Regarding Bernardo Silva's red card, Doku defended his captain, stating, "He's our captain, he's the most disappointed of all us. It's not his fault," he tried to defend. "We are not angry at it, he's just unlucky." Notably, Bernardo Silva's red card was the first of his senior club career in his 598th appearance. The post-match reactions underscore the mixed emotions within the City camp: pride in their effort, frustration with key decisions, and a determination to learn and regroup. The club's recent Champions League history also casts a shadow, with only one successful run past the round of 16 since their 2022-23 triumph. But how did the match unfold, and what were the key turning points? We break down the full match report and player ratings next. Manchester City crashes out of the Champions League after a dramatic 1-2 defeat to Real Madrid, marred by a controversial red card. For a fleeting 22 minutes, the possibility of an improbable comeback flickered for Manchester City, but a red card to Bernardo Silva for a handball on the goal line and a subsequent penalty converted by Vinicius Jr. ultimately sealed their fate in the UEFA Champions League round of 16. Despite the devastating outcome, the home side delivered a performance with numerous positives amidst the grief of elimination. Erling Haaland managed to find the net, leveling the score from the spot after Vinicius Jr.'s opener. This goal marked Haaland's first since early February, offering a stark contrast to his scoreless performance in the first leg. However, City's efforts were further hampered by offside calls that disallowed goals from Jeremy Doku and Ryan Aitneri. This marks the second consecutive season City has exited the competition before the quarterfinals, a rare occurrence for manager Pep Guardiola. The match was preceded by a fervent atmosphere, with pyrotechnics and banners setting the stage. Early in the game, Real Madrid had a golden opportunity to extend their aggregate lead significantly, but Federico Valverde's effort was thwarted. City then mounted an offensive surge, testing Real's goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois multiple times. The pivotal moment arrived in the 17th minute when Bernardo Silva, attempting to block Vinicius Jr.'s shot on the goal line, was penalized for handball. After a VAR review overturned an initial offside call, Silva was sent off, and Vinicius Jr. converted the penalty, extending Real Madrid's aggregate advantage to 4 goals. Despite the setback, City continued to push. Haaland's equalizer before halftime provided a much-needed boost. In the second half, City created more chances, with Doku and Aitneri having goals disallowed for offside. The tie was ultimately sealed when Vinicius Jr. scored his second goal, capitalizing on a cross from Aurelien Tchouameni. Player ratings highlighted Abdulkadir Kusanov as player of the match for City, while Bernardo Silva received a low rating following his red card. The defeat leaves City facing a critical juncture in their season, with the Premier League title and FA Cup as their remaining targets. That's a wrap on our Champions League coverage, but what else is making headlines? We'll give you a lightning recap of all the top stories right after this. Manchester City's Champions League journey ends with a dramatic loss to Real Madrid despite a spirited fightback. Pep Guardiola fires back at critics, analyzing the tough run of games and the controversial red card. We've dissected the full match report, player reactions, and the season's implications. Don't miss any of the action. Like this video, subscribe to news, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and follow us on all social media platforms for more exclusive content.